What's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Hope you all are having a great start to your Sunday morning and continue to have a great weekend. We're going to give you an update here on the Tropics, what the model runs were showing from overnight this morning, and what is currently going on. What do these three areas of interest look like right now? We're really just going to talk about two of them, and it's this one and this one. So we're going to break down what's going on. What their future looks like as of now. The promoting and limiting factors of tropical development from any of these. We're going to go through the same things we've been going through the last few videos, but we're going to have updated information, obviously. So we're going to break this down for you guys, figure it out. If you guys have not subscribed, definitely hit the subscribe button. I upload content daily, sometimes twice a day, like I have the last couple days. Hit the like button if you like the video. It helps the video get out there. And like I said, definitely subscribe. I also storm chase also, so I don't just talk weather. I try to get out in it. But thank y'all for the amazing support. I've definitely had some growth over the last several days. You guys give me, I know I say this every video, but I like to show my appreciation to you guys. You guys give me an avenue, a platform to talk about what I love. And I mean, that's a huge blessing just right there, so definitely thank y'all for all that. And if you guys got anything I can pray about, definitely put it in the comments. It gives me an opportunity to pray for you. It gives others an opportunity to pray for you. If it's unspoken, just put that. I've definitely missed out on doing that the last few videos, and I try to do that every video. Sometimes I ramble on and I forget, but definitely take advantage of that, especially on the Sunday morning here. So what we got going on here, let's talk about the weather. This area right here, which is what's left of the Invest 92L. The last few days, this has really dwindled away. This was the hot topic right here, but it's not anymore. You have 93L, which was dubbed an Invest yesterday, and then you have what will probably be 94L right here, probably sometime today, I would think. It's probably going to get labeled an Invest. But three areas, I'm really just going to talk about these two right here. They're just cruising along the monsoon trough, and it's really intact, so they're having a hard time separating. What I mean by that is they're having a hard time becoming separate vortices, if you will. So this is what you have 93L right here. This is the other area of Invest. This has been bumped up by the National Hurricane Center, and we'll check that out here. This is what's left. It has a 0% chance of developing in the next 5 days. I always show the 5-day outlook as opposed to the 2-day outlook. But and here you go. You still have a 40% chance to develop in the next 5 days of 92 Invest and 93L. I'm sorry if I get them mixed up. And then you have what will probably be 94L. Has been bumped up from a 30 to a 40% chance to develop in the next 5 days as some model guidance has begun to like this system. Now you notice the area of interest has it cruising, into the Caribbean islands. So the Lesser Antilles, I think you're going to get affected, especially the central to northern half of these islands, by some tropical weather. Whether that's a full-fledged tropical storm Fred, whether it's not, outside of that, it still looks like you're going to get effects weather-wise from this. Just some squally weather, some gusty winds and rain. Now, notice this, especially this furthest most west wave, which will probably be 94L. It interacts with land a lot. We're going to show you that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through the Invest. We're going to go through the model runs, and then we're going to go through what's kind of going on as far as right now with these systems. So we get a closer look at what is 93L Invest. It had a big-time convective explosion overnight into earlier this morning. It has since died. It's dealing with some shear, and it's really dealing with some dry air, big time. And I'll show you all that here. Water vapor here shows. You pretty much know what the dry air is, right? The dry air is this orangish, brownish colors to reds colors. That is dry air. And we've known this for the entirety of this whole entire situation we've been talking about. It's going to be dealing with dry air. By the way, this site is called Weather Nerds. It is also an awesome free site, just like Tropical Tidbits. All y'all can access this online. Great site. Both of them are. So check it out. You got dry air on the eastern side of the storm getting wrapped into the circulation, what circulation there is on the northern end. And you have some easterly shear going on right here that's dealing with, that I think both of these systems are dealing with, including the first system. But we'll look at 93L, which was the system I just shown. It all has them continuing to cruise west. Some of them have it going a little bit further more northwest, But most models have this being something that's going to remain intact, if you will. As far as model guidance, this is from the 06Z. The HWFI model really has this thing going haywire. But in fact, I'm going to show you the latest updated one here in a second. Let's see. Latest HWRF model, my bad. It's not as haywire as it was, but looking forward here, sorry if y'all hear my kids in the background. I do have kids. I have 2 little girls, and they're just having fun this morning. But a lot of guidance has this becoming what would be maybe Tropical Storm Fred, Tropical Storm Grace, if the other one forms into a storm before this one, which I've said from the get-go, I really think that it's going to be one storm. I don't think you're going to have 2 out of 3 of them form. You never know, though. But, there's a lot of model guidance that does have this becoming a tropical storm, but there's a lot that doesn't. And so that's something we need to look at. Now, you look at the latest GFS from this morning. Notice all 3 areas are showing up right at 6 hours out here this morning. Going forward here, an L pops up right here. And this is the first wave, the furthest most west wave. That's the attention it's getting now. It looks like it's kind of carried away from the second one behind it, which is 93L. It takes it, but what it does is it takes the energy from it and plows it over land. And I think land interaction mixed with a good bit of shear that's really going to encounter in a couple of days keeps this thing weak. And if it's going to be weak, entering strong shear, it's not going to form. The only other chance it has to form is once this tropical energy gets into this area kind of here, into the Gulf Stream, where those conditions are a little bit more favorable for development, it might try to reemerge itself next week. Yes, we may be talking about this system for a while. We may not. They might die off here in the next 48 hours. But check it out. It reemerges the system off the coast of the Carolinas. It kind of stalls it out, if you will, and turns into a full-fledged tropical storm. Now, if you look at the run prior to this, I'll back it up. This is the run prior to this. The same area. I'll back it up here. And look, next Monday overnight into Tuesday morning, next, talking about like August 17th, it has a weak hurricane off the coast of the Carolinas. And so that's something to pay attention to, is even if this energy kind of phases out from this first wave, it might reemerge once it gets off the coast of the southeast. That's just one scenario. But the GEFS ensembles kind of show that. You notice the distinct areas right here, 1, 2, and 3. And notice it carries that first wave. It kind of dies off these waves. Carries that first wave over the islands, and there's a little bit of signal there. And there's a signal there that, who knows what happens there. Maybe it gets carried into the Gulf of Mexico. Maybe it doesn't. Look at the latest HWRF model. And you're going through in time. You're getting into Monday, getting into Tuesday. This thing is probably getting into the Caribbean islands. But it's always hard to tell where exactly it is on this. It's kind of everywhere. But it's interacting with land, and it keeps it weak. But if you look at the run prior to this, it has this thing as an all-out Category 2 hurricane cruising through the Lesser Antilles later this week. So it's flip-flopping. This is the latest run. This is the run prior. That's a huge difference. I mean, a massive, massive difference. So the models are still everywhere. I really would be nice if they would quit doing this and figure it out. But you look at the old European just holding its ground as far as any development in the short term. But it takes that first wave, brings it into the Caribbean, if my panels would work here, and gets it kind of into the armpits off the coast of the southeast, and maybe tries to develop it. But it's a pretty distinct tropical wave right here, which is interesting to watch here. And it kind of does what the GFS is doing to a degree, but it really doesn't develop it. But it does show an influx of tropical moisture off the coast of the Carolinas as you get into kind of the same time frame as the GFS is showing. Next week, you look at the icon. The icon started showing love to that first system before everybody else. I will mention that. But here it goes. It takes the first system, weakens the systems behind that, which this will probably be 94L, like I said, probably dubbed that today. Takes it, cruises it over the Caribbean islands like the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico, and gets it around Cuba as just like a little tropical wave. But you notice it's just land interaction mixed with unfavorable conditions probably right in here. Sea surface temperatures, I tell you what, they're not the problem. They're not the problem at all. In fact, I don't even show this much because they're warm enough. It's the time of the year where the Western Atlantic and the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico is plenty warm enough for storms. In fact, the Gulf of Mexico is probably pushing 90 degrees in some areas out there. So that's not a problem at all. You look at the shear. Regardless, I think there's going to be an influx of strong shear right here for any systems to get into this area. And I think that is a big reason why there's not really any development occurring here. It's going to take whatever weak system it is and just really kind of destroy it. So that's why I kind of am starting a little bit leaning to nothing developing in the short term of these systems. I really think that's going to be the case, but we'll continue to figure that out. But I think long term, once it can get whatever energy is left, can get into more favorable conditions, I think maybe it has a chance to develop a little bit down the road, maybe into later this weekend. But you look at the latest SpaghettiOs off the European ensembles, you notice nothing in the short term, as in this week. Short term would probably be this week. But you get going into this weekend, and you notice right around this time next week, you start to see some areas pop up. That's probably from the leftover energy from these little tropical disturbances along the monsoon trough. And it kind of reemerges this energy. And then, of course, these are probably other newer waves that haven't popped up yet. But we're still confused out here. But I'm just giving you all the latest updated information. I'll have you another update later. Maybe we can get some, I don't know, agreement in the models. I can tell you there's been some agreements as far as the first wave becoming the more favored wave. You know, we went from the 92L being the favorite one, then we went to 93L being the favorable yesterday, and then gradually throughout the day yesterday we started shifting it to what will probably be Invest 94L. So it's confusing. I'm just here to give you the latest updated information, and I'm always learning. Hopefully you guys are learning also, and I'm trying to keep y'all updated as we go on and start trucking through August here. Almost getting to the kind of the midpoint of August. So it's going to get much more active, guys. So definitely stay tuned. Thank y'all for the amazing support. Hope y'all have a great rest of your Sunday, and God bless all of y'all.